Okay, so I hope you had an interesting discussion just now and had a good break. We are now going to hear from our second speaker of the day, who is Alastair Mumford, who's a corporate energy manager at Devon County Council. Alastair is going to be telling us about the mechanisms and levers available to councils and authorities to encourage or incentivise retrofitting. So, Alastair, can I hand over to you, please?
Yeah, thanks very much. I'll just get my presentation up. Oh, wow, PowerPoint has gone unstable. I've never seen that before in my life. I think.
Well, one of our conversation guidelines that we have, Alastair, is that tech problems will happen and we're all patient with each other when they do. So we'll just give it a second. And if you need us to, I might be able to share my screen with your slides instead.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that looks like it's working now.
Wow, that was very strange experience then. Everything was going off, on, off, on. Anyway, I think that's all. So if you can hear me and you can see the slides?
Yep.
Right, there we go. First of all, just a personal thanks from me to all of you for your time and efforts you're putting into this. Well done, it's fantastic, really good. Thank you so much. So yes, as Dom said, I'm going to talk about some of the mechanisms and levers for getting retrofit, speeding up retrofit and all that kind of thing. So there's opportunities really sort of fit in three main areas really: demonstrate, encouraging, and require. And we're going to look at some various opportunities on those three themes. So first one is demonstrate, and demonstrate through partners' properties. So this picture on the right there is the project by Nottingham City Council to retrofit some of their social housing they did. So they're really setting a standard for the area. It was the first retrofit of its type in the UK using the Energiesprong method, which I think you'll probably hear about through your different sessions. So that's what, you know, we've got a lot of, nearly all public sector organisations have declared a climate emergency. They all own buildings or they rent commercial property, and some local authorities actually, you know, rent out to other public sector organisations, whatever. So there's a lot of potential there for them to be able to demonstrate retrofit and sort of lead the way and encourage. Another way of encouraging things to happen could be through council tax. So council tax, the annual charge on domestic property, you know, escalating from band A to band H, depending on the value of the property. We've got business rates, an annual charge on non-domestic properties, shops, offices, rental homes, that kind of thing. And local authorities could give discounts on these charges as a subsidy to encourage retrofit. And particularly on business rates around solar PV, which is something I come up against a few times. East Devon District Council will present later on to you their experience of looking at this around the council tax. But local authorities could increase these taxes to collect money to support residents with retrofits and reinvest. Warwick District Council is looking to charge an extra 2.9%. So that's between £38 and £114, depending on the band you're on. So it'll be an extra 2.9% per property to provide a climate action fund of 3 million per year. So a public referendum was proposed for May 2020 to consider this, but was cancelled due to COVID. So we'll have to wait and see how that one pans out. But the money could be raised to provide grants or loans, and it could be focused on those in fuel poverty or whatever, really. So next one is around encouraging through loans. And I think Nicola has talked to you about the Lendology service that's provided across quite a bit of the southwest, but in Devon. But yeah, local authorities could provide home improvement loans, potentially at lower rates than available from commercial banks. That would be obviously a particularly good encouragement if they can get those lower rates, even though rates are low at the moment. Lendology is at 4%. That still could be a bit of a barrier. So could they try and get that percentage down, maybe to 0%? And also that can be for SMEs as well. So there's things like ESCO in a box, which is I think being trialled in Oxford around giving loans to SMEs, small to medium enterprises for energy efficiency type stuff. And then encouraging through what's called sort of well, bulk or reverse auctions. So there's a bit of jargon there really, but essentially just local authorities can bring property owners together to bulk buy energy efficiency equipment. And an example of that is the Solar Together project, which has been running across the country, well, in some areas across the country with local authorities. And we have it in Devon. So we've got the Devon Solar Together project, which brought together over 900 households to purchase solar PV for their houses. And this has achieved a 30% discount over the usual price of an average system. And I think there were other schemes like this for maybe around air source heat pumps and so forth. So it's definitely something that could really bring some savings and stimulate action. Also simply, although sometimes not simply to do, around advice, guidance and support. So local authorities could provide coordinated and trusted advice to property owners about what needs doing to their specific property. They could go further by bringing together community organisations and trusted installers to get the work done to a high standard, making sure that work is done properly. And you'll hear more later today from Chris Greener about a pilot of this approach being planned for Devon. And then in terms of requirements, there's potential work around planning permission and also permitted development. So local authorities could require energy efficiency improvement in return for granting planning permission. So for example, if a home has an extension that requires planning permission, the homeowner would be required to put in cost-effective energy efficiency measures in the house as a whole, so bring it up to a certain standard. So obviously there's a lot of properties up there which aren't at the current building regs. And you'll hear more later today about how Uttlesfield District Council have done that. So in terms of national government, obviously there's a strong role for national government in retrofit too. Local partners could lobby government, however successful that is, but to require a minimum EPC, so an energy performance certificate. So that's the certificate that gives you an energy rating for your property. So they require a minimum level of that, a minimum EPC standard at the point of buying or selling a property. So they go from A to G, A being the best. They could reduce or remove VAT on retrofit products and services. I thought that would be a very straightforward thing to do, and reintroduce subsidies for solar panels, although there are pros and cons to subsidy schemes. So in summary, there are plenty of opportunities for local authorities to demonstrate, encourage or require retrofit. So whether it's by demonstrating best practice, encouraging, facilitating that enthusiasm, removing some of the barriers, or requiring things to do. So a little bit of a stick in there. So going next, so you're going to hear more detail on a few of these opportunities next, as I've mentioned, but we're sort of thinking about what would you like to see happen in Devon, what might you like to partners to lobby national government about, and hopefully come up with some good ideas. So I think that's from me, Dom.
Great, thank you very much, Alastair.
Right, I've just got to stop sharing now.